Chelsea fans, we thought that the problems had blown over with Romleu Lukaku's outburst on the Sky Media interview. It turns out he's not the only one. We're going to discuss this in a 5-minute news video with me, Chels Daft, your Chelsea news in just a 5-minute video update. It's all you need. Short, sweet, sharp, to the point, punchy, no BS, no waffle. Without further ado, let's get into this story and let's get cracking. So the actual story is featured in The Athletic and it's subscription only, so I can't really show it. So we're going to look at the feature that's covered in the Daily Mail, quoting The Athletic. And it states that Chelsea have got a string of attacking players unhappy with their treatment by Thomas Tuchel this season, and some are seriously considering their futures at the club, which I find hard to believe, I have to be honest. However, some reports on this particular article do sort of make sense when you take a step back and think about things, such as this. The attitude towards his current attacking players and the constant berating on the sideline and harsh words for mistakes has dropped the mood within the squad, and some people are finding it hard to comprehend and hard to deal with. They're claiming he's been unable to hide his frustrations this season, and to the point where it's had a real detrimental impact on confidence. What they're saying is that some of these players won't take risky opportunities or try something out of the norm to try and do something for fear of retribution from Thomas Tuchel on the sideline. Now, if that's the case, that sounds ridiculous to me. Really going to be the case? Is that something that we've seen happening? If you think back to the games that we've watched, they've looked at the situation regarding Hudson-Odoi and Christian Pulisic filling in as wing-backs and citing that those two players have been fearful of making mistakes because of being berated right up against Tuchel on the sideline. It's easy for them to be targets, and I find it difficult to understand really, or to believe that it is the case 100%. They're also saying that they're unhappy with his constant changing of the team selection up front, chopping and changing players in the attacking areas. Yes, we've got a massive amount of games this season, and you have to understand that not everyone can play every single game. This report is stating that the players have become unsettled with it. They can't form relationships or get a vibe or get some consistency going because they're fearful of being in and out of the squad. They're citing the situation with Timo Werner this season and Kai Havertz. Both have hardly featured since the beginning of December, just bit part. And that's not something that we saw last season. Yes, we've had addition of Lukaku, but think of the fact that I know Havertz and Werner have had injuries and COVID and stuff like that, but they've hardly featured. Does some of this article make sense when you think about it? I'm not so sure, but Athletic is a publication in the UK. They're claiming that this is a real problem and it's been hampering Chelsea this season, and you wonder how much of it is truthful. They also cite Hakim Ziyech, for example. His goal against Brighton was a cracker. Didn't celebrate. Appeared to be looking over to the bench and not celebrating. However, against Tottenham, he had little choice. Being at the bridge, scoring an absolute weldy as he did, there was no choice but to celebrate a goal like that, and afterwards being mobbed by his teammates. But think of the Brighton goal. Think of his reaction. Think of him looking over to the bench. Is there truth in this story? What do you think, people? Do you think that the players are unsettled? Do you think there's any truth in what this article is citing? And do you see examples of it so far this season? One thing's certain, it's not been the same as last season. We have to say that. There seems to be some fractions within the squad and our results and the performances have not been the best. And you have to think about the beginning of this season, we were looking unbeatable, going on a great run and we were top of the league, and it's sort of come crashing down. And you wonder, is the reason for that players being unhappy? Is there truth in this report? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'm not trying to be negative, I'm just trying to focus on a big news story that's featured, and it's something we need to discuss. So let me know what you think about the video in the comment section below. Drop a like on the video for me and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and welcome to 5-Minute News. Have a good evening and a good day, and I'll see you next time.